It's about time. It is about time. See, one thing y'all don't want to pay any attention to is that going to war ain't no prize. How many of you women are gonna get on the internet, take off your safe search, and look up the battle damage done by hand grenades? How many of you are willing to do that? How many of you are willing to look up what it really looks like? How many of you have preyed on men all these years? Getting a free ride. See, that's what the Susie Homemaker thing was. It was a free ride. Through most of human history, women did not have the option of not working. But you get all these stories of Cleopatra, don't you? These fantasy women, queens and princesses. Walt Disney brings them to you all the time. And if you have to clean, my God, you must be Cinderella, poor you. Your wicked stepsisters. While men fight and die over trivial bullshit and you want Louis Vuitton. That's what matters to you. Louis Vuitton, you need another Coach bag. It has to be matching Coach bags, doesn't it? What's the newest scoop on your true crime stuff, ladies? Your infatuation with death, you'll see enough of it soon enough. Maybe you'll get sick of what it really looks like, the aftermath of what you do here in the United States to innocent men, what you demand of us, and you give nothing in return. Now then there's sexual assault, and as we've seen, take a look just at female teachers alone. Female sexual predators seek out positions of power, positions where they will have access to easy victims. We have had 4 male teachers, and the quantity of time that we have had now, 48 female teachers arrested for having sex with their students. Welcome to the United States. So we're talking about what, 12 to 1? Among female teachers alone, just this year alone, female teachers are 12 times more likely to have sex with a student. We're talking about the actual act of having sex. What do male teachers most often get arrested for? Rude comments? Sarcasm? Usually. Of all of the horrible things that happen in the world, most of them more horrible than rape. Most of them more horrible than rape. And of course, what are we going to pretend here? That no matter what, a woman should not be held responsible for anything because rape. That the laws regarding male disabled people should be disregarded because females get raped. You forget the males get raped too. You forget where, you forget when, you forget why. We've come to find out recently, thanks to Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and even YouTube now, their own numbers, their own evidence, their own information shows that women are far, far more likely to be stalkers, as I've been saying. They're far more likely to get others involved in stalking. Majority of them brag about it or plan it out with others. Well, you should claim that he raped you or assaulted you or something like that. That makes you a lot more likely to win. How many of you have read that with your girlfriends? When you talk about getting a divorce, how many of you think it's a good idea? Well, since you've seen so many women in your life do that and get away with it, obviously you know that women get away with it. Many, many, many women get away with it. Some of us believe that people are people regardless of their gender. However, seems to me most women have no clue how pampered they really are. Men are a lot more likely to be physically assaulted than women, a lot more likely to be murdered. Do what? Let me check. Are you thirsty?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's cold. I got a cream soda I bought this morning.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. If you give me just a minute, I got some crackers in here as well.
Thank you.
Now let me close this so it'll stop beeping at me for a minute. Hey, did you know Christian Alexander?
Yeah. I went to high school with him.
He's dead.
First time I ever got stoned was with him.
He's dead.
What?
He's dead.
What?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
2 months ago, August 23rd. Yeah. Give me a moment.
I did not hear about that. What happened?
From what the obituary said, he got in a car accident, but from what Jennifer and David were telling me today, because they've been looking for him for as long as I have, they didn't tell anybody around here what happened to him. The cops know who he is. The ambulance, they all know who he is. You think they would have told someone? Let me check, see if I got some crackers in here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it's taking so long. I got a lot of stuff in here.
That,
I'm sorry. I just have a lot of stuff in here, so it takes a few. Oh, come on. Oh. Sorry about that. Alright, I haven't found the crackers yet, but I did find some peanut butter. Yeah, keep having them in the too, but I know for a fact I have some crackers, I just can't find them. Just gotta put them back so it isn't exactly easy to go through all this shit. Yeah, I don't know where my food went. No crackers there neither. Maybe in that bag. No, that's T-Rex tape. Yeah, there's a lot of fucking food stamp snipers like that. They do the same thing to me. See, that sucks. I don't believe in killing people. I understand. I mean, people stealing you till you starve to death. Yeah, I was down in California, Skid Row. One of the ladies there, she come up and told me that, well, she wasn't the only one. They wanted to make sure it was advertised. There was a child molester. He got busted molesting somebody in one of the tents, so they chopped him up and stuffed him down the storm drain. You know? Lots of people talk about it, but street people will actually do it. Absolutely. Is this food? No, that's toilet paper. That's not food. That's garbage. Oh god, that is not good. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't have any crackers. I don't know what the hell I did with them. Yes, sir. And although everything I got in here is rotten, at least this one little box of apple juice is gonna be delicious.
Yeah. See why I don't fucking spend money on feeding people instead of fucking police.
Well, I busted almost all the police here committing felonies.
Yeah, they're fucking horrible.
Well, I mean, I got it recorded. I just need people to stop being pussies and go in with me to turn it in.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've done probably fucking 50 felonies to me.
Did you record any of them?
Well, like, the problem is, like, they lose their fucking footage and fucking throw them in jail for it.
Yeah, and I've heard about that too. I've also been told about a girl who was human trafficked here and disappeared and ended up dead.
I've met several girls that escaped from being fucking chained and raped and eboed by the police. Yeah.
Well,
They were all in Lincoln City, though, the ones that survived.
the two officers I've been hearing about here is Mike Reeves of the sheriff's department, and I have footage of him assaulting a 14-year-old girl in this very parking lot right over there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then the other one is Tony Lothman.
Lawson?
Lothman?
Lawson.
Yeah. But I got almost all of them recorded. Sadler, Martinez, Harrell, fuck the whole goddamn
I
lineup.
know. I want to say it was Woods that fucking was messaging a 14-year-old girl fucking like trying to get with her, like saying he's in love with her and all this shit. Yeah.
It was Woods?
I think so.
Yeah, they had that female teacher here. You know how long she served? 6 hours. Yeah, how long would a man serve if he had sex with a 14-year-old girl as a teacher?
Yeah, right. Long guess.
Yeah, around 40 years.
Yeah.
But if you're a female in Tillamook, Oregon, then it's fine. Go diddle little boys. It's no big deal. Here's 6 hours and a slap on the wrist. Pay us $50 fine, you're good. Of course, there's more sex offenders here in Oregon per capita than anywhere else in America.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. We carry the worst in the state too. So I think it's probably the worst in the country.
Well, I got footage on Multnomah, Clatsop, and Tillamook counties, as well as Hood River County. There's also the Dalles, Oregon. Here, let me turn this sumbitch on so that I can actually prevent that shit from dying. But yeah, this shit's really happening. People don't listen to anybody out on the streets. They don't care about the homeless until they're homeless, and by then, of course, it's too late. Black people don't realize that the majority of people killed by police that are black were homeless. Homeless black people. White people don't understand the majority of the people killed by police that are white are homeless white people. Same thing with Asians. Same thing with Native Americans. Same thing with everyone. Also, almost 97% of those killed by police every year are men. So you got a dick and you're homeless out here. You're a lot more likely to get killed by a police officer than a black man in a house. That seems pleasant. You know a lady named Rebecca Gross-Nickel-Foley? How about Janessa Ray Funkhauser? She's actually missing from here in Tillamook. What's the other one? Tommy White. Tommy White?
No. Is he the one that had pictures?
Yes, sir. Well, I made a missing persons post about them as soon as I heard. I also made a missing persons post about Christian. I got a YouTube channel and I posted it up, and You know, not everybody's found alive, and I get that. But the situation, I said, not everyone is found alive, and I get that. But the situation with Christian is all sorts of fucked up.
Yeah, like, did they find his body?
Yeah, had a funeral for him and everything. Most of his family had gone to Utah, so that's where the funeral was at. They didn't tell anybody here.
Yeah. I've read don't believe here sometimes.
Well,
Yeah, but
sorry, I got some hand warmers in here. I'm not like grabbing my crotch. I got a hoodie with a pouch.
don't wear that.
Oh, you're cold too? Don't do that. Only I'm allowed to be cold. No other human being could possibly be cold in this weather. It's odd to me how many people here especially seem to think that's the way it is. Like, you're going to your car going like this the whole time, but then you're driving by as you're leaving and you're pointing at the homeless person and laughing. And I'm like, you know what? Some of those homeless people are going to look over while you're pointing and laughing. Some of them are far enough, luckily, far enough away that they don't hear what you just said like I did. Because I'm probably about the only homeless person that wouldn't bust your ass for it. All this violence. And then with the police and the violence here, them shooting people, the situation with, did you know Ryan Woods?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bunch of footage with him on my channel too. That whole situation over there was messed up. You know, you got a lot of homeless people that are addicts and a lot of them that ain't, but a warm place is a warm place. The thing is, he wasn't capable of taking care of himself at that point, and someone should have taken him under their arm and said, "Hey, this is not what needs to be happening here. We can't be letting him get hurt." I've got recordings with him on my phone because he sent them to me. He was trying to be real nice to me, but he got took like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy. I was with it the night fucking drove through the air museum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're Tyler
Taylor, yeah.
Taylor.
Yeah, he wouldn't stop fucking trying. I was asking him to let me out and shit. If I could turn around and go back and tell him I fucking, like, stop. And he just fucking wouldn't stop. That's how he drove through the walls. Well, he still didn't stop.
Fuck. Yeah, it was kind of a fuzzy video, so I didn't exactly recognize you. Yeah, there's a lot of people that like to pretend that I make these stories up, like I've never met these people, and there's probably going to be people, if I told them tomorrow that I'd met you,
Yeah.
they'd be like, whatever, dude, you made that up. You just saw that on the news, and we're like, I know that dude. I'm like, no. I met that dude in a Safeway last night. No, you didn't. You're a liar. Well, welcome to, congratulations, you got to be a hostage.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, these youngins here have been pretty vicious to me.
Yeah.
Same thing with the cops. Yep, driving by calling me the N word.
Jesus.
No, I just have a beard. Don't laugh at my jokes, that only encourages me. Now I'm laughing at my own jokes. I'm definitely crazy. Nah, but you know, I tried to talk to him on a human level because like I could see where that was going. Brian tried coming back later and telling me, "Oh, it was just kratom." I'm like, "That wasn't just kratom." You know, just because I don't do drugs doesn't mean that I didn't grow up in the system and grew up with drug addicts in the family dealing out of my own motherfucking house. Yeah, I know some shit about drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, he was fucking stealing all my so stealing from the corner to fucking make it look like it was me fucking trying to rape her, basically. I felt like
Who did that?
Ryan was in like me. He was like framing me for fucking stealing from her to try and get her to hate me. So it felt like.
Well, she told me that she borrowed a jacket from me because she's pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Well, she was out here fucking freezing. I gave her a blanket, or I gave her a jacket. She said she was gonna bring it back, but she told me that she couldn't go back to the place that she was at because she had a guy that tried to rape her while she was sleeping. And he was not. That was Ryan.
No, I don't know.
She didn't say exactly, but I wasn't gonna make her go back there and get that fucking jacket. Between being abused and a jacket, I would rather somebody not get abused. I don't give a fuck about the jacket.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I know Stormy. I saw her today. She talks to me quite a bit. I'm kind of scared of women because any woman at any point in time could get creeped out on you, and, like destroy your whole life. But the thing is, I know how it is out here. Like the chances of a man being raped out here are actually pretty significant. So when a woman says it, that's absolutely significant too. And it's usually somebody in a house, usually someone fucked up on drugs,
Yeah.
usually somebody in a position of power, has a establishment and dominion over people.
Yeah.
Plus, when you've got other people that are willing to beat the shit out of people for you, just because they want a place to do their drugs, yeah, it's easy to get fucking intimidated when you're in that environment and not have a way out for both men and women. I had a few situations like that just down at the Tillamook parking lot because them youngins wanted to start playing that N-word thing and fucking get up in my face. There was a whole bunch of them. They still do that shit. I've moved all over town. Wherever I go, they fucking 2 o'clock in the morning, something will clunk off my vehicle, or somebody will scream the N-word at me, or accuse me of being a homosexual, or it's fucking unrelenting. Do what?
People are fucking. So I don't even understand. So many people so fucking.
Yeah, that's the way they were treating Christian.
Yeah.
Like, nobody even tried to understand that part. Like, how could he possibly, first of all, how can he stay sober when he has basically the same old people to hang out with? It's tough to get sober, I know.
Shit.
I had to get fucking sober at 21.
Especially fucking helping hands on fucking at the end. If you want to get sober, fucking talk.
And they cater to people that are coming off of drugs. The thing is that I'm having to deal with jumping through all these hoops, being told that helping hands only takes people who are sober, and then I'm told that it only helps out people who are on drugs. Then I'm told that it's some 30-day thing where you can go in there with it in your system, but they'll make sure that as it goes along that you don't have it going up, that it goes down. And the thing is, they've never let me in, so
Yeah, right. So it's like, yeah, I'm pretty fucking crap.
Bree, I have heard that name so many times.
She doesn't seem to want to let in anybody that has drug problems because she's too fucking lazy to want to fucking deal with it. So she just lies and says there's no beds available.
Well, there's a lot of people out here that don't have drug problems that are also not being allowed in. And the thing is, it seems like there's a pick and choose method about it where it's who's most likely to play along more so than anything else.
Yeah.
Who's more likely to go there and shut up and not make waves.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah. Seems illegal to me.
It is illegal, but the problem is that Jeff Linneman is in charge of all this shit when it comes to the disabled, the elderly, anything with adult protective services, which is what all of us are covered under, especially if we get disability or government insurance, which most of us do. If we don't, it's because we don't have assistance getting it. Well, on the bright side, at least I got Christian recorded on my YouTube channel, so people can still hear his voice.
Yeah. Yeah, the first time I ever got sound, this was Christian. Good memory. Cast party for a vampire movie, The Hunger, filmed in Pacific City.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was talking to, Jennifer and David. Jennifer, she talks real fast. She goes to the feeds sometimes. Well, she tries to stay away from people, so it makes sense.
Yeah, Jennifer, Charlie, like Pun.
I know Pun, but isn't he with Tiffany?
Oh, Tiffany, yeah. Why?
Yeah.
I think it's just,
Pun told me that Christian was in the mental hospital in Salem. David and Jennifer checked. He wasn't in there. And, I'd already had him as a missing person on my YouTube channel for about 2 months. There's a issue with the youngins down there and some threats against their lives and a lot of threats against his, and he was trying to disappear, and then he died. David and Jennifer said that, God, what's her name? Not Sophie. Sophia, the Native American lady, the large one with she keeps her hair up in like a messy bun. What's her name? Stephanie. Stephanie knew something about it. She's been down here screaming shit at me. Probably about, I don't know, 2 nights in a row at least. She hasn't screamed at me tonight. But yeah, I'm not popular with them. I don't do drugs, but I don't hate people who are on drugs. You know what I'm saying? It's not the drugs that I'm against. It's the behaviors that many of them choose to engage in. When you're addicted, it's tough not to.
My main problem with drugs, when I do drugs, is the other people on drugs. Not the drugs.
Oh my God. All right. So for me, I don't hardly ever smoke pot. Yeah. And the reason for that is because I'm kind of a social smoker. It's for social anxiety disorder. And I just would rather just stay away from people because they're a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So if I'm smoking pot with people, all they want to do is talk about pot. So I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, guys. I don't want to hear about pot every time I smoke pot. This is not socialization.
Yeah, right. Just you smoke the pot and then you do stuff.
This is like the Mad TV version of High Times. What the fuck, guys? None of you know a damn thing about growing pot. I mean, most of you don't know anything about smoking pot other than you've watched the stars on weed. And then there's everything beyond that. Like most murders are committed by people who are drunk. Most murder victims are drunk.
Probably a bit of meth mixed in there too.
Well, that would make sense here for the blues.
Well,
That fucking.
actually, statistically, opiate addicts commit less crimes than non-drug addicts.
Because they're fucking laid back on the couch feeling good.
Yeah, same. Weed and opiates actually make people less likely to commit
I've seen
crimes.
people all fucked up on heroin and they lay there and then when they are able to talk, they say things like, "Oh my God, dude, I wanted to touch myself, but I felt so good I couldn't move." Like, oh my God. No wonder I would never touch the shit. Of course, I got to grow up in the system because my parents couldn't stay off of cocaine. So I'm well versed in cocaine and I'm well versed in getting my ass beat for the color of my skin. I know how to do that. Here, it's weird because, like, I grew up with a bunch of black kids and Asian kids, Native American kids. Pretty much everywhere I went, it was minority places.
What ethnicity are you?
Hmm?
What ethnicity are you?
Oh, I'm a mutt.
Yeah.
But most people see me and assume I'm a white guy, unless they're Airheadians, in which case they just see Jew.
Yeah, you look kind of Jewish.
I do. Well, I cut off my Jew curls. I grow natural Jew curls. Like I don't have to curl that shit with an iron or nothing. If it's real dry and arid out, it'll puff out like the rest of my beard. But the moment it starts getting just a little bit of humidity or dampness, it goes like I'm Goldilocks or some shit. Like perfect ribbon curls and everything. Pun is one of the folks who helped to get Ashley to stop her bullying and helped to get Robert Farnsworth to knock his shit off. The last 8 times I've seen him, he hasn't yelled at me, he hasn't thrown anything at me, he hasn't screamed at me, he hasn't accused me. He does that to everybody, I guess, but it's you don't go running around calling somebody a child molester or rapist. You know, James had to go through that. I had to go through that. Charlie, and so did what's that other guy's name? Otter. Do you remember Otter? Otter and Cheryl. What was his real name? Lewis. That's what it was. Native American feller. Oh, they left here. They couldn't handle the KKK bullshit. They wanted to go up north and hopefully see some more folks that weren't white. Oh yeah. You're not the only one saying that, but where is there to go? Portland? Have you been to Eugene?
Yeah.
How recently?
Not recently.
Like within the last 5 years?
That's like I left like 5 years ago.
Oh Jesus Christ, dude. Well, it's not the same place. It is not the same place.
That's it. What's happening?
The same thing as everywhere else. The homelessness is on the rise. The only services they're willing to send us to is shitholes like TFCC that just want to have you come back for therapy. 30 days, come back for therapy. You get your 50 minutes and they want you out.
Don't do the goddamn thing.
Never. Not for him. Well, you know what? I've seen them do stuff for white women in houses. I shouldn't say it like that.
But yeah.
But yeah.
fucking retarded. Yeah.
I want the tide to change. Everyone tells me, well, I thought that was just for women. Well, no, it's not just for women. But if you're a man who goes in there, they're not going to take it seriously. They're going to try to talk over you and pawn you off on someone else. They want you in and out of there quick, too, because somebody else needs the room.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things when crimes are committed against us, cops just talk over us, and that's why there's rule number one. You never talk to cops. They're not your friends.
Yeah.
That's the same rule everywhere I fucking go. Don't talk to cops. They are not your friends. Don't talk to cops. They are not your friends. And all the people who tell me that eventually start telling me about how they knew a good cop, followed by a story about that good cop committing felonies when they were underage. I'm like, that is not a good cop.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? All right, so you tell me you were 17 years of age, you were tripping balls, and you were on Everclear, and this officer pulled over, realized it was you, and told you that you had to walk, what did you say, 11 miles into town? Like, yeah, that may sober you up, but you're 17 years old, and there might be somebody who sees you stumbling and a fumbling and decide that he's gonna butt fuck your ass.
Yeah.
Did I say that wrong?
Yeah.
Dump your ass off on the side of the fucking road like spare cargo. But Jesus, we got a lot of predators here, and they're fucking brutal. And predators come from situations of extreme abuse. So, I mean, they're fucking used to it.
Yeah.
A lot of these folks out here on the streets that have been predatory towards me, they're not like serial killer type crazy. They're not serial killer type murderers if they did murder somebody. They're people who get desperate and might murder somebody over $40 worth of stash, though.
Yeah. Shit, fucking Detroit. My buddy from Detroit. We've seen people get murdered over a fucking pair of shoes.
Yeah, same thing in Denver. Fought to cut your throat. They'll fucking shoot you. I don't know why they would risk shooting you. There's a lot of people down there for a few years. They were giving out Nikes to homeless people, and then you'd wake up in the morning, you're like, there's this homeless guy. It doesn't make any sense why he was walking around with no socks. You pay attention to the fact that there's no wear on the bottom of his socks. Some rich dude donated a bunch of Nikes and got like 30 homeless people killed back in, what, 96, 97? Stupid shit. Yeah, Denver and Boulder. Boulder was like one of the last hubs that we had as homeless people where it was okay to be a good person and you didn't have to be all fucking strung out on whatever. We accepted everybody. We tried to help get people clean and we did a good job. But the last 5 years, the homeless community ain't got no unity and nobody gives a shit. Like, we're getting murdered in record numbers. In 2019, 49% of those that were killed by police were homeless.
Yeah.
Last year, 61% of those killed by police were homeless. No, I just have a beard.
Yeah. That's scary.
Yeah. And then there's the fact that there's more hate crimes against the homeless than all other hate crimes combined times 5.
Right.
And then you consider that we're such a small portion of the population, 0.18% of the population.
Yeah. I'm not even allowed in a lot of stores and bars just because I'm homeless, basically.
You're just assumed to be a fucking mentally ill person, which then we get this argument of, oh, well, what is mentally ill? Come on, don't be philosophical here. This is not philosophical bullshit. This is a label that's used to have people targeted. If you're schizophrenic, it's more important for people to treat you like you're schizophrenic than it is for them to just generically treat you like you're mentally ill.
Yeah.
If you have PTSD, it's not okay to generically treat people like they're mentally ill because there's a big difference between the two. Well, I have something called Asperger's, which is a type of autism. I get treated like I'm a retard all the time.
Yeah, I took a freaking autism test and scored 4 times the threshold for being autistic. So
Yeah.
I never actually had a doctor never did, but I had a friend that was like told me I should take the test online, and I took it. And I was like, fuck it.
Oh, I took one of those.
Full blown.
It's a lot different. The online tests are a lot different than what they actually make you do. Because, like, I had to do it from Nebraska, so I had to do it online for part of it. And also, like, the interactions with my therapist, Nicole Peralta. And then there was the doctor guy that she had me talk to online. And there was another lady that she had me talk to as well. Like, we went through, like, I don't know, I want to say like 4 months of this shit. But, you know, it's Nebraska. It's tough. The only neurologists that we have are two fucking rubber stamps, Scanlon and Matthews. I heard Scanlon had to quit because he did some immoral stuff, and they figured, well, if we let you resign, we won't press charges, and if we don't press charges, then the hospital doesn't look as bad as they really are. And that guy that's on all the posters and stuff, I posted up about him missing again today. I also recorded a guy named Andrew Walnez. He's assaulted me repeatedly. I don't know well, I do know what the hell his problem is. The same racist little shitheads that Christian was having a problem with. Tillamook sporting goods. Yeah. Them youngins that park down there at night.
Oh, yeah.
Tear around. They come up here and fuck with me now here. The hell is this? Oh yeah. That's matches, and these are tea candles for in case of emergencies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They were. I just wish I could have found them damn crackers. Starches are good for you.
Yeah.
It is. Thank goodness for black folks, or we wouldn't have peanut butter.
Is that right?
Yeah. George Washington Carver. Before that, peanuts were a no-go item because everyone was allergic to them. They were poisonous. And he figured out how to get rid of the poison by roasting them. You know?
Yeah, I guess they're a bean, aren't they? They're not an actual nut.
Well, they're poisonous either way.
Yeah.
I think the way they look, it would probably be pretty easy to tell one out in nature, but you never know.
Yeah.
Like when you see a coconut in the movies versus a coconut in front of you.
Right? I don't even know what peanuts look like above ground. They grow underground, right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I believe they do.
Seeds that grow seed pods underground. That's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
That's something about peanuts I didn't know. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah.
Also, I'm hungry as fuck. Where the hell are my crackers?
Do you want any peanut butter?
No, I'm good. I got a can of not ravioli, but Chef Boyardee, biscotti. Yeah. Same stuff You probably get it to feed.
Yeah, yeah.
They haven't had any Tillamook cheese there recently, though, I noticed.
Yeah.
They did for most of last year.
Just got so much fucking food, and then fucking, it's just not like, but, right in there, you're not getting any access.
And it's true.
They should have, I feel like they should just take all the food that is in fucking hands and have it fucking available to homeless people that actually need it. Instead of fucking, the homeless people that get to have a home getting it all, and then the rest of us just fucked.
Yeah, a lot of people keep trying to tell me open hands, open hands. I'm like, you guys have told me to go to every service here, and I've jumped through the hoops for it. Congratulations, you got it so easy. But I've been here 11 months, and I've gotten a lot of attitude.
Yeah.
There's also the fact that I never wanted to stay here. I didn't want to fucking move here.
Yeah.
That was not my intention. That was literally never my intention.
Yeah, I got fucking.
But just because I don't live here doesn't mean it's okay to fucking abuse me. They literally abused me into moving here.
Being stuck, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, how the fuck does that work?
Yeah.
How is that okay?
Right? That's what, again, the day I was trying to leave here, I got arrested and they fucking impounded my truck. Fucking forced me to stay, they trapped me here. Fucking lost everything. Like $10,000 of fucking music equipment and fucking everything. And my vehicle.
Live
It was all based on lies and fucking they kept me in jail. Fucking like charging me with a hit and run that was fake. Like I crashed 20 feet in front of a bridge and they said I hit the bridge so that because it took them months of me being in jail before they actually investigated and realized that I didn't do it. Like it was someone else crashed into the bridge fucking months before. But by that point, like my bail had already been fucking 4,000 instead of fucking 800, which the 800 was on fake shit that was all lies too. So like, fucking.
Well, there's a lot of that. I have a lot of recordings with people who have had those exact experiences nationwide. This is just people need to work together and speak up. I record my shit and I make sure I record other people's stories.
Yeah. It's like gang stalking or some shit.
You know?
Definitely a targeted individual.
Well, every homeless person is. You literally cannot be homeless. Once you've been homeless, usually the first charge that we get is well the camping laws, urban camping laws.
Right.
Well, now they're not able to do that because of the COVID thing, and that's pissed them off. But they'll find other reasons. Shit, if they gotta slide something in your pocket, they'll do it. And if they gotta take you to the hospital and say, "Oh, he's mentally ill. I think he's schizophrenic," they'll write that shit down. Your life is over right there. Sure, you won't die, but for the rest of your life, everywhere you go, you're not only targeted, you are sought after. These places want you to go there because they get extra money when you go to their therapy. But the thing is, you're also a target for abuse out here, and everybody's going to abuse you. You get lucky enough to get a place, and every druggie in the whole fucking town wants to sleep on your floor, and they're willing to give you free drugs to do it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I've seen that so many times where somebody who's homeless and stuck on drugs gets into housing. And then you've got 11 homeless people on their floor, and you're like, you know what, this motherfucker's going to overdose in the next 6 months. And they always do. So how did Paul die? Well, he overdosed. How did Christine die? Well, she overdosed. How did Greg die? Well, funny story, he fucking overdosed.
I think a lot of overdoses are probably murders. Myself.
Well, that's the thing about Christine. I was actually in prison when she was killed. But the thing is, you know, people want to accuse me of killing her. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to kill somebody from inside a prison? Meanwhile, she died of a fentanyl overdose. And her meth dealer, George, he was with her when she died. Well, shortly thereafter. Apparently, he was with her body for hours before he called the cops. Before any cops showed up, he sat there with her carcass. That's pretty
I don't get
gross.
why people don't fucking like. I was dead for an hour once, and my friend saved my life. But yeah, I feel like I've saved like 3 different people.
They kill us by ignoring us to death.
Yeah, like I've saved people. People would be dead if I hadn't saved them.
You know?
I'd be dead if I hadn't been saved too.
And then fucking blankets. Like, we don't have anybody out here at night passing out blankets.
Or food, yeah.
Or food, that's right. Like, some of these people, they can't go to the standard places because their predators are going to go there.
Yeah.
They have to be afraid of people who rape them, afraid of people who beat them, afraid of people who stalk them, afraid of people who do any number of things. And, you know, for somebody like me who doesn't do drugs, but I get sent to the places where all the drug addicts hang out,
Yeah.
you know, they're hanging out there for food. You know, when I'm sent to a service by the police pawning me off on some service, and I go there, it's a whole bunch of drug addicts that I know from out on the streets. And do I really know most of them from out on the streets? No, most of them I met the first week that I was here. Most of the people that I met at the places that we're sent to for food, or the places we're sent to that are supposed to help us stop abuse. That literally none of them do. They want to set us up for therapy because that gets them more money.
Yeah.
And they want us to be drug addicts because they can write that down. And that also makes it so they can discredit us because they want to call you a druggie and mentally ill. So anything they do, they can get away with. And they just go, oh, well, he didn't want this and he didn't want that. We did offer, but he didn't want it. He didn't want it.
Yeah.
Bullshit. But we'll give them trivial shit.
What?
I said, but we will shit.
Right.
Care was real bad about that.
Yeah, Care fucking sucks. It's a fucking joke. Don't do a goddamn thing.
Oh. Yup. You guys get a checklist, a government checklist for when you give us money so that you can take it back from us and then say, oh, well, look at all you mooch off of us. See, look at all this money that you guys are getting. Like, no, you're not getting anything. You steal it from us instantly.
Yeah.
And then you're required to jump through a bunch of expensive hoops, go into a bunch of services that don't actually try to help us, who literally ignore the law. The majority of us out on the streets would not be on the streets if the mandated reporters we were sent to did their jobs as mandated reporters and turned that shit in immediately. Instead of, let's set you up for an appointment in 30 days. Yeah. Oh, by the way, are you addicted to drugs? Do you have any friends or family? No? Okay, good. They wait for answers like none that give a shit or no family, just relatives. What does that mean? Up the ass with no lube.
What?
I said up the ass with no lube.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard dicks. Every girl I've ever known that was in foster care was raped.
Oh God, dude, foster care is fucked up. Almost every boy I know in foster care was raped, but boys don't come forward.
Right.
Would you come forward if you were raped in foster care?
Not to most people.
Yeah, someone with a dick, that's not something you do. That demasculates you immediately, and it makes you, basically, they slide you into the bitch category. Like, hey, it's not my fault that a 40-year-old man couldn't keep his nasty cock beaters to himself when I was 7. That's bullshit.
Yeah. People don't realize fucking the fear.
Girls are more likely to be stalkers. Like, literally, the only category that men are technically more abusive than women is in sexual assault. And we've come to find out recently that that's not even true.
Yeah.
Women are 5 times more likely to beat on their children. They're 30 times more likely to beat on their husband than the other way around. When it comes to children dying of violent deaths, 31% of the time it's the dad that killed them, and 31% of the time it's the mom that killed them. That's 62% of the time it's one of your parents who killed you. That's overwhelmingly way more than over half the time.
Yeah.
Then you've got the fact that this year alone we've had 4 male teachers who were arrested for having sex with their students. And we had
In Tillamook?
no, not in Tillamook, in the United States.
Oh.
But we've had 47 or 48 now female teachers that were arrested for having sex with students.
Yeah. When I was a freshman, I had a teacher that fucking like hit on me and fucking bend over with her thong hanging out and shit. And I'm pretty sure fucking she was fucking my buddy who was like a senior, and she was like totally grooming me to fucking. But then she got fired that year.
Right. Well, thank goodness she at least got fired. I'm sorry that whole
She went to go
situation
teach
happened.
in Southern Oregon.
Oh, Jesus. Well, they cater to pedophiles here.
Yeah.
They fucking cater to them. There are more pedophiles per 100,000 than anywhere else in the country. It is. I agree. So if you like touching children, Oregon's the place to be, apparently. Oh, God, they're not much better. Stay the hell out of Redding. It's almost all pedophiles at this point. There's nowhere for them to go.
I like when I lived up by Seattle.
I loved Seattle, but that was back in the 90s.
Yeah. I mean, it's expensive as fuck, but it's amazing.
Well, you ain't allowed to exist as a homeless people pretty much anywhere in the country right now. It's real bad.
I was gonna join the union in Seattle, but then COVID hit and fucking they shut down all non-essential construction. Alright, well, I'm gonna go. I can try to find some friends.
Yes, sir.
It's good talking to you. What's your name again?
Sean Schwartz.
Sean Schwartz. I'm Taylor Holborn.
Taylor Holborn?
Yeah, I know I've met you briefly before, but it's good to know you a little better.
Yes, sir. Do you have a good pocket?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not sure how much longer this is gonna last because I cracked it this morning, but it's still better warmth than nothing.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Be safe. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Hey, you see my window here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Andrew Wolnez earlier today over where we get over at the First Christian Church.
Really?
At the meal site, yep.
Alright, well. If I ever see you, I got your back.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be safe. Being able to record makes it so that at least I have recordings of the situations. A lot of people out here don't have options like that. I'm gonna try to make sure I have enough to come here in the morning. for a coffee and a refill if I go spend $2 on a coffee at the, nope, I don't. I should have enough to be able to get a corn dog though. It's bad out here. And it's been bad out here, and it just keeps getting worse. And the more fucked up the country is, the more the media and the police push the homelessness crap. And pretend like they're offering all this stuff to the homeless, but they're not following through. That's the thing. Nothing that they offer are they actually following through with. They make us jump through a bunch of hoops. Round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows, right? What's in here? Vegetable something. Might be the dusting sulfur. I don't know. But I'm not eating sulfur. That's hopefully going to prevent my vehicle and all the stuff that I have from being fucking moldy. I don't think it's a good idea. I'm just kidding. As wet as everything is out here, you cannot get sulfur to burn, which is a good thing. The other thing is it really doesn't take much to prevent mold. And as moldy as everything fucking gets here, mold prevention is important. Just remember, be safe with chemicals. Like I've said many times, there's lots of stuff that I learned how to do as a Nebraskan that a lot of people never learn how to do. Explosives is part of the education in Nebraska just because everybody and their mom loves going out and blowing shit up. If it's not making their own cannons for 4th of July, there's all sorts of other holidays that people enjoy, and lots of people just love to see things blow up. Oh, here's some food that's moldy. I guess I should probably designate a place for moldy food. Because there's a few bags of stuff in here that were good when I got them, but I was so full when I got them, they ended up sitting and I wasn't able to eat much. Sometimes you go 3 or 4 days without having much to eat at all. And then everybody and their mama dumps food on you all at once, and there's no way your stomach's going to take it all. Well, there's some cops driving by like cutie patooties. I'm going to go find a place to sleep for the night. Hopefully I won't get fucked with, but what's the likelihood that I will? Pretty significant. The hell? Oh, an empty Jones soda bottle. Yep. I have no idea where the hell I put my crackers. This video is supposed to be about the draft, but we didn't get very far into it before Mr. I think is it Tyler or Taylor, one or the other. He's the guy that was with Woods. Now, what is the situation there? Obviously, that wasn't a safe place, and I told you it wasn't a safe place. When it comes to sexual assault, it ain't a joke. It's also not a valid excuse for literally doing nothing, or for taking up a cush position and pretending that, well, you're being oppressed. Are you going to go to work every day while your husband stays home with the kids? No? Are the kids primarily being raised by their father, or are they primarily being raised by their mother? Do those kids realize that their dad is at work every day? Like when a father is a part of the household? Or do they think that that child support comes from nowhere? It sucks when people forget the humanity of man. Oh, that's a big tongue. Yeah, it didn't turn back to look. Well, you ever wonder why he was released? You ever been in a vehicle with someone who refused to stop? Right before my birthday in Virginia, Natalie Bollinger was in a vehicle with a man who refused to stop. He got into an accident with Natalie Bollinger in the vehicle going 120 miles an hour. Well, isn't that something that should kill people? Isn't that fast enough to kill people? Maybe she just exaggerated a little bit. Maybe they were going 120 and he slowed down a little bit before they started squealing. Natalie survived that accident. She was already in a cast because she tried to commit suicide by driving her vehicle into a telephone pole. Coast to coast, same bullshit. Cops don't want to do their job for a homeless person, so they send us to the mentally ill category automatically. Mentally ill category goes, oh, well, we'll make some profits here. I needed a mandated reporter to do their job, and they didn't. Not at any of these services. As soon as they find out that you're trying to turn on an officer or tell on an officer as a homeless person, their ears turn off. Anyway, I'm just way too fucking tired to drive over there. I'm gonna start my car again, make sure that I recharge the portion of phone that I killed by making sure it doesn't just beep nonstop while I've got the door open talking into people. I hope it's pretty obvious that I got communication difficulties and that I have a stuttering issue and that I fight hard not to. A lot of people, for some odd reason, think that stuttering is a revolting thing, and anybody who stutters, they should just yell over, talk over, speak over, and just be general rude fuckheads altogether. This video is supposed to be about women being drafted, but of course we got to take the opportunities when we have them to hear the voices that are here. That way, when they're gone, there's at least something there for them to hear. Their experiences may still help others even after they're dead. So I'm gonna relocate real quick so I don't get in trouble over my welcome here at the Safeway. I know most of the folks here like me. I'm told that frequently. I also understand that most of the time my phone doesn't record inside of there. So it's not necessarily as safe an environment as I'd like to think, I guess. But the people there do make me feel safer just because they exist, and I don't think they'll let someone hurt me in there. Well, let's get this already started, right? When I get to where I'm sleeping, I'm going to turn off this video and I might title it. I might not. I might just go straight to fucking sleep. I'm tired as hell. It's colder than the cast iron commode on the shady side of an iceberg. It is warmer in here than it could be. And that's thanks to one of the ladies here at Safeway giving me a hand warmer. Well, she actually gave me 3 of them. I gave him one that still had a pretty decent amount of activity. It's supposed to be good for up to 18 hours, and I opened that one up about 12 hours ago. Oh, maybe 14 hours ago. It might be almost done. But I held it in one pocket, had the other one in the other pocket, and it was still a lot warmer than it is outside. And the ambient environment, it was enough to where if I put it in my pocket, that it would heat up my leg really warm really quick. Of course, those things work better when you hold them just in your hands. They don't warm up as well. You got to slide them inside of something. I could have given him a sock or something, but it just still breezes through, and it doesn't work as well that way. You got to kind of trap the hot air in. Right now I got a blanket around my legs, and I got a hand warmer in my pocket, and I keep shifting it to whatever part of my legs gets the coldest. Uh-oh, I slid it out. Fuck. Oh, I feel it. Fuck it. I'm gonna have to move the blanket anyway, because I have to drive to another location. There's a lot of people that hate me, but you know what? They can hate me as much as they fucking want. That's not gonna stop me from doing the right thing. It's not gonna stop me from fucking speaking up. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to be the good guy, even if it's only me. I just don't want the fucking job. There ain't no quitting in it, though. I mean, we're out here taking this shit every fucking day. What happens when people give up? They sink into fucking drugs and stupidity. Some people legit just do their drugs recreationally. But most people, no, they're incapable of that. I haven't found my wet wipes to wipe off the ice cream. But luckily, I'm not driving very far. Oh shit, they're gonna have fun when they try to start their vehicles. Those things are all sorts of icy. Equality. You want men's rights, you can have men's responsibilities.